I found his announcement really interesting. It was long. We expected that. It was quite low energy for Trump as well. And I felt like his pitch hasn't changed. So he's running in 2024, but he still had a 2016 pitch. Is that going to work?
No, it was a boring speech. It was. He read from the teleprompter most of the time. I know when the president is reading the prepared comments, and I know when he's sort of riffing independently. He read almost 95% of that speech.
Wow, that's rare, isn't it, Mick Mulvaney? Does that show he's nervous?
I've only seen him do it twice. He did it for the State of the Union speech, which is the national address from the president to the nation that we do every single year. And he did it for the United Nations General Assembly, which the president does only once a year. Those are the only two other times I've seen him stick to the script like he did the other night. So I don't know if it means Lord, the impression I get is this, is he doesn't know what he wants to be in 2024. Your question is a good one. Will 2016 Donald Trump win in 2024? I don't think so. He has to figure out what he wants to be when he runs for office next time, and he hasn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, I find it really, really interesting indeed that you say he's only read from the teleprompter twice, and last week in Florida was one of those. Now, again, let's get back to this very slim majority in the House, one seat, as you say, at the moment. So, look, Kevin McCarthy solidifying his position within the GOP, Hakeem Jeffries seeking to replace retiring Pelosi. But I'm interested, because we talked about this a lot in the US, about what the Republicans do with this slim majority. Do they need to be careful? What are the indications so far?
Well, careful, I don't know if that's the right word. Here's what they're going to do. They will do their investigations. They will investigate Hunter Biden, the president's son. They will investigate various members of the cabinet. They may launch investigations into President Biden himself. That's not surprising in this day and age. It's what the Democrats have been doing a good bit of time for the last 2 years. They will also be legislating at the same time, but it will be lower key, smaller sort of deals when it comes to lawmaking because Washington is now divided between the Democrats and the Republicans. It's easier to do big deals when one party is in control, as they have been for the last 2 years. So there will be some deal making, there will be some legislating, but most of the attention, most of the energy, most of the oxygen will go to these investigations, and there'll be plenty to talk about for the next 2 years.
Yeah, it certainly will be. I'm just fascinated by this Trump reading off auto cue. So when you were chief of staff, what would happen? He'd have the auto cue there. Would he go off script straight away? Would he use auto cue as a guideline? How did you keep up with all of that?
The hardest job in Washington, D.C., Laura, was the young man who ran the teleprompter, because what he had to figure out is, okay, the president has now left the script. Where is he going to come back? Because he would always come back, but he would never come back at the point that he left. You have to sort of listen. He spent about 75% of his time at an ordinary speech off of the teleprompter, and about 25% on. That changed in the speech at Mar-a-Lago, and it was really, he's not the same when he reads off the teleprompter as he is when he's sort of extemporizing.
Yep, that poor teleprompter guy. Mick Mulvaney, thanks so much for that. We'll see you soon.